All right, so let's talk about obesity, being overweight, being fat, whatever you want to call it. Now, most people have some kind of struggle here and there with weight, at 5 or 10 pounds. That's not what we're talking about.
No, that's water weight mostly.
Often, water, food, etc. That's really not an issue. That's normal. What we want to talk about, really, though, is anybody who's 30 pounds or more overweight typically is going to have some kind of an emotional aspect that's causing them, especially if it's over a long period of time, they remain 30 plus pounds overweight. And especially those who get into the 100, 200, 300 pounds overweight, definitely a deep emotional issue going on that is causing that. It is not possible to get to that weight just from a medical condition. In fact, things like thyroid issues, insulin resistance, which is what causes type 2 diabetes, and so much more actually all comes from not just the physical, but also the emotional. In fact, I would say that the emotional actually causes the physical. And that also causes all the really bad eating habits. Uh, in extreme cases, the fat can actually build up to such a great extent that everyday life becomes a workout. Like, in fact, I got up to, as I mentioned in the past, I think almost 450 pounds that I know of, and may have been fully up to 450 or so. But I mean, I would pull through a fuel island, stop the truck there, go inside. You're looking at 30 yards to the building, maybe much less. Go to the bathroom, do any shopping I was going to do, which wasn't much, and then get back to the truck. And sometimes I barely made it back. Other times I had to stop and sit down for a couple minutes. I was in that bad a shape. So literally everything you do is a workout, just simply getting around. And one of the reasons I wanted to address this particular topic is because within the groups that we frequent on Facebook, somebody was complaining about her husband is not at all interested in having sex, and she's gained a lot of weight, and it's basically gained the weight and then lost all interest in sex. However, he still watches porn and still masturbates. And so I want to talk a little bit about the physical aspects of being so overweight. Of course, fat does build up everywhere, including around the penis, and so that causes a great deal of difficulty with being able even to have sex. Um, if you are in a kind of position with your partner, one thing that can be done that does make it easier and make it work better is if you can have him lie on his back, that'll help the fat to kind of spread out a bit. Of course, also with like type 2 diabetes, that can affect sexual performance ability, erectile dysfunction, and that kind of thing. And so that may be an issue. Now, obviously, in the case of this person here, since he was still masturbating, that was clearly not the issue. And so he still had a sex drive, he just didn't have the ability to have sex. And of course, he had a lot of self esteem issues as a result of that, as you can imagine. He doesn't like what he's gotten to and so forth. And it's just devastating to be in that position of you can't even really walk from here to there comfortably. You can't stand around for very long, and I'm talking like 5 minutes is very long. And just life sucks in that place. I mean, it really does. The biggest problem, though, is that there's not enough motivation to change. Uh, when you get to that bad, you may get to the point of having enough away motivation to make some changes and to fix some habits, and you'll get some of the weight down. And in fact, away motivation is what causes yo-yo dieting. It's I get up to this certain weight and I don't like that, and that's too bad. So I do a little bit and I get better, and okay, now I'm not in so much pain and discomfort and so forth. So,
I start
we're
eating
good.
bad
So I
again,
started
and
going back to the bad habits, all that stuff, because there's a deep underlying problem. And so that's why they go back up, and then it becomes uncomfortable, and then they get down, and back and forth. But once you finally deal with that underlying issue, or those underlying issues, because usually there's more than one in the extreme cases. Like I said, the 30 pounds case, not usually one, but 300 pounds over, that's multiple problems. And those need to be addressed. Once you get those addressed, then it's just a matter of creating the right habits and sticking with them. I know for myself, once I got everything addressed, it was really easy. Uh, we also do recommend Dr. Jason Fung. He has a couple of books and he's got a YouTube channel. Lots of great information, uh, predominantly on intermittent fasting and longer term fasting. I believe for him, a longer fast is like 3 days. And the thing is that just that information is useless by itself. I knew about that for years. I kind of did some intermittent fasting. I occasionally did a longer fast. In fact, I even did longer than 3 days. But until I fixed the underlying issues, there was no possibility of consistency. And my beliefs were wrong, basically. I believed that I couldn't do the fasting, not because I was hungry, but because I couldn't stay awake while driving the truck at night, because I just needed to eat. And that was nonsense. Because once I got a lot of the stuff fixed, not even everything, but really just some of it got fixed. And then suddenly there was no problem being able to stay awake without munching on food all night. And I could easily cut off my eating about 8 a.m. and then pick it back up at midnight, nice 16-hour fast. And it was actually very easy. In fact, I was able to even do keto while on the road.
which is not necessarily easy without
No.
being very careful when you go shopping.
Yes, especially if all you have is truck stops. Keto is very limited as to what you can have. That's what I needed.
Anything is very limited.
True.
So
Very true. So, but you can do it. I know because I did it. Did that for several months, and that actually got me quite a bit improved. Much more energy, and I do recommend keto for those who are in that place, who are really at that bad place of really can't even do much of anything. I highly recommend keto and intermittent fasting. Do those at least until you have your energy back and you've dropped enough weight that you can actually get around, do normal daily activities, and then you can decide if keto is for you or not. Because for me, it's not long term.
If it's torture or you're like, no, but I like these foods too much to give them up forever.
Right.
Don't
That's
do
fine.
that. Yeah.
Keto's not for everyone. And for someone like myself, keto was just for till I got to a certain point. Then, now that I have the energy and I can do all the things that I need to do throughout my normal day, I don't need that extra boost of keto. So I just do the intermittent fasting and also occasional longer fasts. And that's great. And another thing is, it's easy. Once you resolve the problems and your unconscious mind is working with you, it's really easy. You don't get hungry.
Well, and you already know what you need to do to lose the weight, but
Yes.
this helps you to do the things you need to do.
Right. That's the biggest thing is you have that underlying issue going on that you have to resolve. You absolutely have to resolve that first. Because you can watch all of Jason Fung's videos. You can know exactly what to do. You can read all of his books. Believe me, I know, I did this. So it's not enough to know what to do or why it works or how it works. And it's just not enough. Like I said, you have to fix that underlying issue. And that's what we do. We fix that underlying issue. And as I've mentioned other times, we guarantee our work. If you can get through our screening process and prove to us that you're really ready to change, that you really are going to change, and you're not going to let yourself make excuses, then we will absolutely work with you and we guarantee our work because we know how to make the changes and we know how to help you to make the changes, but we can't do it for you.
And when it comes to weight loss, you're not going to turn around in a week and have lost all your weight. That's not
Obviously.
going to happen. If it does, that's a miracle from God and has less to do with us, or there's something very seriously wrong with your health. I'm not sure which. Maybe consult a doctor.
Definitely. But yes, like I said, we make it easy. That's our entire point of what we do is we make everything easy. Is there anything else you can think of that we need to add on to this one?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess one thing I will say that if you're the spouse of someone who's significantly overweight, the main thing that they need is love and encouragement, not nagging. I know you want them to change. I get that. But the nagging will only make that emotional issue worse.
Daryl was very appreciative of me because I only said it occasionally, like months or years apart of, I'd like it if you lose weight because I want to keep you around. You'd be happier.
And it was always done in a very positive manner as well.
It was always about what I was wanting from that had nothing to do with the weight he had on his body.
Right. And that's a very important thing. Positive reinforcement and just loving your spouse. And loving them through this time. And encouraging them to make that appointment. That's really about it, though. It's fix the underlying cause. That's really... You're going to hear that a lot in these videos. Fix the underlying cause. That really is the common denominator for all of the problems. Whether it's trauma, abuse, addictive behaviors, severely overweight, fix the underlying problem. And that situation pretty much takes care of itself. Well, that's all for this video.
If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment or a question below.
It really does help to let YouTube know that others should also be watching these videos. Also remember to check out our Facebook group. It's all about relationships of any kind. And of course, most importantly, click below and schedule that free consultation. We have options for people at every level. Whatever your problem is, if we don't have a YouTube video for it, we can get you some other kind of resource, even if there's no money in the bank. So even if you can't actually do a personal one-to-one with us, there's options. Definitely click that link, schedule that call. And that's all we got for now. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.